Hi everybody, this is Screen Brothers, and I'm Alex, and this is Jonas, and today we're going to be talking about Wonder Woman. So the first question I think we should try to discuss is, in terms of the DC Extended Universe, has Wonder Woman saved it?
Well, I wouldn't say that Wonder Woman as a film has saved the DC universe, but what I like about the film is that it's really brought back that sense of optimism that DC can make really compelling stories without, being morally clouded and just being real bores essentially. Like, I really enjoyed the film. I feel like it hasn't saved the universe, but it's giving me hope going forward, especially with Justice League coming up and Flash and Cyborg and Aquaman, that this is going to be the catalyst of DC reviving itself and really competing with Marvel, which is what it should be doing. I mean, I personally am a DC comics fan, but I do feel that Marvel has knocked DC at the park when it comes to movie portrayals, and so yeah, I think I'm a lot more confident going forward. What about you? What's your opinion on the movie?
I don't necessarily think it's saved the DC Extended Universe, like you said, but this is just one film.
Yeah.
This is their their fourth film in the Extended Universe. Marvel has 15, 20 now.
Yeah.
So Marvel has a long sustained track record, and with Marvel films, it's like even they're not good. Even the films that are not good,
Yeah.
are better than DC's bad ones.
Yeah.
Marvel has made Thor: Dark World, Iron Man 2. People hate Incredible Hulk, but I like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think those two Marvel films out of the cinematic universe are its weakest films. But even then, it's a lot more watchable than Dawn of Justice or Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
So Marvel has a lot more sustained track record, whereas DC has started with 3 films that just to their standard underperformed, and the general consensus is those films are rubbish.
Yeah.
So Wonder Woman came out and just knocked the ball out of the park, and it's so good that it's an anomaly throughout the 4 films that we've had with DC so far.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't want to say it saved it. I just think, like you said, there is hope going forward, but like I said, this is just a one film, and taking into account the previous DC films, you had Dawn of Justice and Man of Steel, both directed by Zack Snyder, who I'm not a fan of as a director.
Yeah.
Then you had Suicide Squad, which is directed by David Ayer, who, to be fair, I was surprised he made such a bad product that he did, because I quite liked a film he made called, you've seen Fury, right?
Yeah, I've seen Fury.
Yeah, he directed that, and I really enjoyed that film. So for him to direct a colossal mess that was Suicide Squad, I don't know how he did that. I mean, there was a whole issue of it being reshot, and the people that edited the trailer came back and edited the film, and that's why it was so disjointed and messy. So maybe that had an influence in it, I don't know, but Suicide Squad was really disappointing, because I thought that was going to be the film that would have instilled some confidence into the DC Extended Universe, because it was directed by someone other than Zack Snyder.
Yeah, and there was a lot of hype going into Suicide Squad.
Yeah, because the trailer got everyone gassed, everyone was hyped for it, and people came in to watch it. It was just a bloody terrible mess.
I think as well with Wonder Woman, what makes it so great is that it really differentiates itself. It really differentiates itself from past movies that we've seen, such as Man of Steel and Dawn of Justice, in the sense that it is a lot more of an optimistic world than what we've seen so far. I feel like part of the problem with DC Comics as well is that it's had this reputation now as making really dark and gritty movies. And I feel like with a superhero movie, while it can have those dark themes, it has to stay true to its nature, in the sense that the superhero is naturally supposed to be someone who is hopeful, optimistic, and idealistic. And I feel like with Man of Steel, my problem is that you don't need to compromise Superman's morality in order to make a good movie. That's not who Superman actually is. Superman's supposed to be the light, the one that inspires people to believe in good. And what I like about Wonder Woman is that this is a story about a woman who's trying to find her place in the world, but is also quite a principled person. She has a strong idea of doing the right thing, and it's shone through throughout the movie. And I feel like that's something that's really been missing in a lot of the DC movies, particularly the Superman ones, which I found to be really disappointing. Which for me is even more sad, because I am actually a really great Superman fan, and I feel like he does get a lot of negative press as being a hero that people can't relate to. Oh, he's a bit too optimistic, and
I have no problem with Superman being optimistic. Me personally, my problem with Superman is that I think he's too overpowered.
yeah,
I mean, that's just in the comics. Like, he just can do anything. It's like there's no really dramatic tension in his stories.
yeah,
So that's why, as far as DC heroes goes, I prefer Batman over Superman.
yeah,
Because I just don't find Superman to be that compelling of a character. He's an inspirational character, like Wonder Woman is, but to me he's not compelling like Batman and his own morality.
yeah,
And his dichotomy between him and the Joker and him and his own rogues gallery. Like,
yeah,
Batman probably has the best rogues gallery out of any superhero, Marvel or DC.
yeah. That's true. I can't argue with that at all.
And I think that really immortalizes Batman as a DC character, that's DC hero, even though he's not superpowered. But going back to Wonder Woman, the way she was portrayed in this film, it's how Superman should have been portrayed in his films.
Oh yeah, for sure.
In terms of how she's a young idealist. Once you're like in the beginning of the film, she's young and idealistic. She has hope for the future. She has like this strong sense of right and wrong, a strong sense of justice, and that her beliefs aren't. She stays true to her beliefs. She stays true to herself, and she doesn't let anyone influence that. And I think that's something that was missing in Superman and Man of Steel. Like that's why people criticize it for being too dark. It wasn't. It wasn't that the themes were dark. It's just that everything was just gloomy and depressing. And Superman is not supposed to be like that.
Yeah, Superman's naturally a bright figure that people naturally gravitate towards, and I feel like with Man of Steel, I just didn't get that. And what I like so much about the Wonder Woman film is that it really brings that back into light, and it brings that back into the forefront. Like, this is a woman who strongly believes in walking in the light, and I feel like that's something we've missed in a lot of the DC movies. I think what's interesting, what you raised there, is that whereas I like Batman, and I do like the recent Batman films that we've got, particularly the Dark Knight trilogy, I feel like at the same time, a lot of the recent movies have been living in the shadow of the success of those movies, because what it has shown is that you can do a really dark and gritty superhero movie, but I feel like at the same time, going forward with characters like Superman, that's probably something we need to stray away from. And I feel like what's great about Marvel, for example, is that it has that range in where it can have the open, light-hearted universe, but it can also have really dark and gritty films, for example, like The Winter Soldier. And you had Captain America constantly being forced to question his place in the world and question his morality. But at the same time, he retains what he is at his very core, and that is being a good moral person who believes in doing the right thing no matter what. And I feel like with Wonder Woman, that's something which rung true in Gal Gadot's performance as well, and I feel she was spectacular. Like, I really don't understand the criticisms I've seen recently that apparently she was not physically right for the role, and I don't see that.
Yeah, because
I don't see that.
Like, before the film came out, I was seeing forums, people saying that Ronda Rousey or Gina Carano should play Wonder Woman because they're more physically imposing. But like, Wonder Woman doesn't need to be physically imposing. Like, even in the way she's drawn in the comics, she's not. Or it depends on the artist who's drawing her, but generally she's not that physically of an imposing character.
Yeah.
She doesn't need to be. I mean, if you try to do that, it's like you're over masculinizing her. Is that a word?
I'm not too sure, but I get it.
Well, yeah, when you're making her too masculine,
yeah.
And like, you don't need to do that with her. But I think that undermines her being this feminist icon if you just try to make her too butch and macho. So I did not get that criticism. And besides that, I think her performance, I think she's got a really strong screen presence, she's got great charisma, I think she nailed the character.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm pretty excited to see her in future movies, because like, she didn't really do much in Dawn of Justice. She just came in and just... She was there in Dawn of Justice, so I didn't really get a sense of who her character and who she was. But in this film, I really got a sense of it. And
I do like how she comes across as this young and naive woman with a real rose-tinted view of how the world should be. I feel like when watching her characterization, it really did remind me of Christopher Reeve in Richard Donner's Superman, because you do get that in the beginning of the movie, this young man who has a strong sense of doing the right thing, but is also very much naive about the way the world should be. And I like going forward with the film that Wonder Woman really fits into her own shoes in the sense that she still has those ideas, but she's a lot more open to the realities of the world. And I think that was great to see that character development. And then I think, as I said before, that's something we didn't see in the DC movies such as Superman and Suicide Squad, for instance. Like, I do like the idea that she grew as a character when we watched her from being, you know, the young, naive idealist to an experienced veteran, essentially. And yeah, I think it's great, and really looking forward to seeing her going forward. And I also like as well how they made the linkage with Dawn of Justice, actually, because the entire film is essentially her reminiscing on the war years, which I thought was a pretty smart thing to do, because in the beginning you see the message from Bruce Wayne, and in the end you see her go forward into the sky, and I just thought that was a really great way just to remind us that whereas it's an origin story, it's also being linked in with the wider DC universe. But I do agree with you. I do think that Wonder Woman has, it's not saved the DC universe, but it's definitely given us a lot of hope that going forward, things are going to change, and for the better. But as you said, we've got to keep a little bit vigilant, because I'm not keeping my hopes up too much.
Exactly.
Yeah.